So now that you have these two multiplying polynomials handouts in your book, if you're on the relearning part, which is why you'd be watching this video, you can make an extra page and we'll do the box method for multiplying polynomials. And this handout is actually included with the packet, but you only need to use it if you wanted to do the relearning or just learn a different method for multiplying polynomials if that method was a little confusing. So for this one, we're going to do some examples together. We'll go through the steps and then you'll do some on your own. So we have this little booklet. It's called the box method for multiplying polynomials. On the inside are some example problems, and it gives you steps on how to do them. I'm not going to go through each step and read it to you because you can read it yourself. I'm going to open this up and we're going to start with some of the example problems. So for this first example, we're multiplying two binomials together, the 4x minus 3, which I'll underline in blue, and the 2x plus 7, which I'll underline in purple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write what we're multiplying next to these boxes here. So 4x minus 3, and on the top is 2x, and then positive 7. Okay, and now multiplying using the box method, I'm just kind of multiplying the row and the column together. So to fill out this top box here, I'm going to do 4x times 2x, which gives me 8x squared. To fill out this one, I do 7 times 4x. That gives me 28x. 2x times negative 3x is negative 6x. And 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. Now, you might be thinking, well, what's the point of doing this in a box? Well, if you take a look at the diagonals here, your like terms are always going to line up like that. The ones that I highlighted. So my final answer is 8x squared. Okay. And then I combine these two together. 28x negative 6x is positive 22x, and then minus 21. Okay, so that's called the box method. Now, basically what you want to do is you want to write your numbers down first and then figure out how many rows and columns the table needs to be. So as you recognize here, once we get into problems with more terms, it's not always going to be a 2 by 2. Here's a 3 by 2. This one down below is a 2 by 3. So it depends on the amount of terms that you're multiplying together. So let's do this one down here. 3x minus 1 times 3x minus 1. So 3x minus 1, and that's this first one, and 3x minus 1. And then we multiply on the inside of the boxes. 3x times 3x is 9x squared. Negative 1 times 3x is negative 3x. Negative 1, we'll do 3x times negative 1 is also negative 3x. And negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. So again, I have some like terms I can combine, and those are always going to be in diagonal. When I do that, I have 9x squared. Negative 3x and negative 3x make negative 6x, and then positive 1. That's the box method. It also works with special cases that we went over. So let's do this one right here. 4x plus 2 squared. If I want to put that into my box, 4x and then plus 2, and 4x plus 2, since they're the same one. And I fill out my table. 4x plus 4x, I'm sorry, 4x times 4x is 16x squared. 2 times 4x is 8x. 4x times 2 is 8x. And 2 times 2 is 4. So again, you'll kind of see the pattern that the middle term, which is the terms we always add together, are the same here. So the answer to this one is 16x squared plus 16x plus 4. It also works with more complex polynomials. If I have 10x minus 1, so 10x minus 1, and I multiply that by negative 2x squared plus x minus 5. I'm again just filling out the boxes and multiplying the monomials together. 10x times negative 2x squared is negative 20x cubed. 10x times positive x is 10x squared. 10x times negative 5 is negative 50x. Negative 1 times 2x squared is positive 2x squared. Negative 1 times positive x is negative x. Negative 1 times negative 5 is positive 5. And so I still have like terms, and they're still in diagonals. I just have two different diagonals here. I get those two like terms, and then separately I have these two like terms. So my final answer when I start adding those like terms together is negative 20x cubed. Combine these two to get 12x squared. Combine these two to get negative 51x, and then positive 5. Okay, so that should give you 4 examples of the box method, and you can try the other ones on your own. Just remember that 2x minus 1, this is 2x minus 1 times 2x minus 1. Okay, so when you do 2x minus 1 squared, you're doing 2x minus 1 and 2x minus 1. When you're done with the box method, have your teacher check all of your answers to make sure you've done it correctly, and then let your teacher know which method you prefer. So the box method can go right on the next page, still multiplying polynomials, and you can either glue or tape the back down, just as long as you can open the page up and see the example problems. And then once that's done, everything's all set, you can go back and keep working on the textbook problems, or you can find some other problems to do, either from the textbook, online, or ask your teacher for an extra resource.